My name is Rion Naus. I'm a stewardship ambassador. I'm a certified public health educator. I'm a dad, and I own and operate We Grow With LLC. This is a great opportunity for me to share about some of the people and products from We Grow With. So the Stahly family is a beautiful family that I've been working with for years. And so I want to be able to share some of their story, their journey on this regenerative path, and actually then bring in the product of that regenerative path to talk about their wheat. So for us to be able to get to this point, there had to be a lot of learning and growing. And so I want to show you some of their experience and tie it together. This is me in September 2024 as we're preparing material for the construction of a biome bin. This biome bin was part of a field day that the Stahlys did on their farm and for their community. In many ways, it's about whoever in that community hears this call first and then shares it with others. And so in this process, we were not only teaching about biology, but practical tools that people are able to then do for themselves and reinforce that with products that are on the market. Absolutely beautiful place, and I have enjoyed that family and their care and concern immensely. So this is us actually participating in a soil CPR course. You can see several participants. Bob Stahly there in his red jacket, Julie standing next to me in blue, and their daughter Grace off to the far side. She is going to be carrying on these traditions to the next generation. And so some of when we talk about regenerative, it's what generations are we regenerating? And so to be able to have both the young and the old involvement is a key factor in having this knowledge grow and perpetuate. So fun class, lots of great participants. An amazing sunset. You saw sunrise on one side, sunset on the other side of the farm. Here's Bob standing next to his, it's mostly complete. We could go twice this high, but we were able to, with the production of the materials, get this volume out of it this first go around. Now, Bob is wanting to do the most. He's a dryland farmer in Nebraska and wanting to do the most with what he has and can do. And then he wants to be able to make purchases of products that will reinforce his efforts. It ties the two together. And the biome bin is a great activity that the people who live there can participate in throughout the year and has benefits to the farm and the land as a whole equally throughout the year. You can pull resources from it throughout the year and then pull the majority of the material out when things like planting or post-harvest applications are it's the time for those. So super happy with what he's been able to do and accomplish. We have some pictures through the material at the feedstock on the inside of the biome bin. You can see plenty of pore space, plenty of airflow and passage, but there's still contact of the material. You don't want such large gaps that the material isn't connected, but you don't want it so connected that it can't breathe. That's a key component in this. You can see the wood chips that they were working with on site. And then here is the biome bin tucked in, as we say, so that it contains the moisture, cycling it back into the system, decreasing the transevaporation of the material and allowing for a higher turnover rate. You can also see the material poking up through the center of the grain sack hole, which then allows us to have a snorkel. So there's no pockets, anaerobic pockets in this material. There's plenty of airflow from the outside and the inside. And below that, you actually can see the collection basin, which has a small amount of water in it currently, It's actually probably about 15 gallons, but it's separated from the organic layer. So this is a process to maintain a biological function without allowing it to cross over into rot. We want recomposition and decomposition, not rot. Because it's about what we rot, right? It's a different. Green Cover Seeds, an amazing company that's been using foundationally fungi fortified products. You can check out Elevated Fungi as well as the Hypergrow Dry Seed Coat. This material incorporates this biology, which then allows for those benefits to be in our aid. So because of this, because the Stahlys are using this as a seed coat, because of their own activities, they've been able to grow plants without conventionally common inputs. So here, even on their label, it says no synthetic nitrogen, no insecticides, no fungicides, and no herbicides. In the process of growing, they didn't have to kill everything. All of those sides, they no longer have to use because they've decided to grow with life. And this is the biology that is incorporated into the soil observation station. This one here is actually the Stahlys family, a small example of what's going on in the bioreactor from their farm, from their land. This mineral layer here is actually a classifier separating the fluid saturated state and the O horizon. But this mineral is actually brought up from the soil profile at the Stahlys farm by the ants. They classify that material, accessing deep into the soil profile, really shedding light on what mineral availability is in the subsoil. Super grateful for the opportunity to work with them and to see how they've grown over the years. It's been a blessing to know them. So in this process, it hasn't just been learning something. It's been a process of learning so that they can apply. They've become equipped and have more resources that they personally can nurture and grow on site, and an understanding of the resources available to the market at scale. Now, that same factor is an option for everybody that surrounds them. But when you don't tap into it, when you're not connected to it, other people apply for insurance checks because in dryland farming, it's a small margin. The Stahlys are able to pull a crop. They're able, because of the lack of use of fungicides, to access that fungal kingdom and the nutrition and water that they can provide your plants. Because they're not using herbicides, glyphosate is an example, they're not chelating essential mineral nutrition from their plants. Those plants need the iron and the manganese and the magnesium and the copper. Like this, these are important. They're essential. Essential means required for life. That's why these sides take that life away by removing them. The synthetic nitrogen has been replaced with the nitrogen from a living, breathing system. They have pore structure, which allows for airflow and movement. They're able to utilize and work with nature, so nature can work on their behalf. Because of that, they also don't need to use the insecticides that they've had to use in the past, because those insecticides were there to cover up or mask the problem that the plant was indicating to the rest of the ecosystem. So now those plants have that mineral nutrition that's required. Those insects aren't attracted to healthy plants. Because they're not attracted to healthy plants, they're not attracted in the same intensity, and pressure that it used to be, and which is why they needed to be sprayed for that in the first place. So if you have any desire to have wheat that doesn't have all the stuff sprayed all over it, that's easy to do. You can reach out to them directly or follow the links on the website so that you can access absolutely amazing and healthy wheat for your bread making and other. I use it. This is still grain. Like in my space, I've actually used the same wheat berries to then go and inoculate my area. So these are other tools, not just for baking, but you can use them for other resources as well. So feel free to reach out and enjoy the taste of when food is medicine once again. My name is Rion Naus. I'm a stewardship ambassador. I'm a certified public health educator. I'm a dad, and I own and operate We Grow With LLC. We Grow With helps people to differentiate between fertilizer and fertility. We use products and services. We equip people with the observation tools they need, as well as the products that make their jobs easier, allowing them to turn dead dirt into living land at any scale.